यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुना जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे जय राजा माधव जय पंचतत्व जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय राधा माधव जय पंचतत्व नरसिंहदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस चरणार्थ भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की निगम कल्पतरोर्घलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृत द्रव संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We are going to discuss the verse of Canto 2, Chapter 4, verse 14. There is a third line which says, correct? Okay. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya muhuḥ ku-yoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya muhuḥ kuyoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya muhuḥ kuyoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya kuyoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya muhuḥ kuyoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Matajis. Namo namaste astu ṛṣabhāya sātvatāṁ vidūra-kāṣṭhāya muhuḥ kuyoginām nirasta-sāmyātiśayena rādhasā sva-dhāmani brahmaṇi raṁsyate namaḥ. Synonyms. Namaste. Let me offer my obeisances unto you. Astu. Are. ṛṣabhāya. Unto the great associate. Sātvatāṁ. Of the members of the Yadu dynasty. Vidūra-kāṣṭhāya. One who is far from mundane wranglers. Muhuḥ. Always. kuyoginām of the non-devotees, nirasta, vanquished, sāmya, equal status, atiśayena, by greatness, rādhasā, by opulence, sva-dhāmani, in his own abode, brahmaṇi, in the spiritual sky, raṁsyate, enjoys, namaḥ, I do bow down. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty and who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Purport. There are two sides of the transcendental manifestations of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. For the pure devotees, he is the constant companion, as in the case of his becoming one of the family members of the Yadu dynasty, or his becoming the friend of Arjuna, or his becoming the associate neighbor of the inhabitants of Vrindavana as the son of Nanda Yashoda, the friend of Sudama, Sridhama, and Madhumangala, or the lover of the damsels of Vraja, etc. That is a part of his personal features. And by his impersonal feature, he expands the rays of Brahma Jyoti, which is limitless and all-pervasive. Part of this all-pervasive Brahma Jyoti, which is comparative to the sun rays, is covered by the darkness of the Mahat Tattva, and this insignificant part is known as the material world. In the material world, there are innumerable universes like the one we can experience, and in each of them there are hundreds and thousands of planets like the one we are inhabiting. The mundane wranglers are more or less captivated by the unlimited expansions of the rays of the Lord, but the devotees are concerned more with his personal form from which everything is emanating. Janmadi asya yataha. As the sun rays are concentrated in the sun disk, the Brahma Jyoti is concentrated in Goloka Vrindavana, the topmost spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. The immeasurable spiritual sky is full of spiritual planets named Vaikunthas far beyond the material sky. The mundane wranglers have insufficient information of even the mundane sky, so what can they think of the spiritual sky? Therefore, the mundane wranglers are always far, far away from him. Even if in the future they are able to manufacture some machine whose speed may be accelerated to the velocity of the wind or mind, the mundaners will still be unable to imagine reaching the planets in the spiritual sky. So the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem for those, but for the devotees, the Lord will always be available as an associate. In the spiritual sky, his opulence is immeasurable. The Lord resides in all the spiritual planets, the innumerable Vaikuntha planets, by expanding his planetary portions along with his liberated devotees associates. But the impersonalists who want to merge in the existence of the Lord are allowed to merge as one of the spiritual sparks of the Brahma Jyoti. They have no qualifications for becoming associates of the Lord either in the Vaikuntha planets or in the supreme planet, Goloka Vrindavana, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhama. And here is a verse as the sva-dhāma of the Lord. This Madhama or Sudama is described in the Bhagavad Gita 15.6 as follows. Natad bhāṣayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The Lord Swadama does not require any sunlight or moonlight or electricity for illumination. That Dhamma or place is supreme, and whoever goes there never comes back in the material world. The Vaikuntha planets and the Goloka Vrindavana planets are self-illuminating, and the rays scattered by those Swadhama of the Lord constitute the existence of the Brahma Jyoti. As further confirmed in the Vedas like the Mundaka Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyo bhanti kutoyam agnihi tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. In the Swadhama of the Lord, there is no need of sun, moon or stars for illumination, nor is there need for electricity. So what to speak of ignited lamps? On the other hand, it is because those planets are self-illuminating that all effulgence has become possible, and whenever there is that dazzling is due to the reflection of the Swadhama. One who is dazzled by the effulgence of the impersonal Brahma-jyoti cannot know the personal transcendence. Therefore, in the Ishopanishad it is prayed that the Lord shift his dazzling effulgence so that the devotee can see the reality, real reality. It is spoken thus, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapitam mukham tattvam pushnam apavruno satya-dharmāya drishtaye. O Lord, you are the maintainer of everything, both material and spiritual, and everything flourishes by your mercy. Your devotional service or bhakti yoga is the actual principle of religion, satya and dharma, and I am engaged in that service. So kindly protect me by showering your real face. Please therefore remove the veil of your Brahma-jyoti rays so that I can see your form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnānatimirandasya Jnānāñjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaḥ. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaḥ. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyameshwaram. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swabhiti Namine Namacharya Padagitaya Kripapayane Gaurakta Damadana Katanjana Smriti Resmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Krisprate Viparitam Syat Shri Chaitanyam Namamitam. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming here to discuss Bhagavatam. So before I start, I would like to take the blessings of all the devotees present here and also those who are watching online, so that I might be able to speak something for my own purification and for my own betterment. So this verse is very beautiful, and it's in the middle of the prayers which is done by Sukadeva Goswami. Now Sukadeva Goswami is questioned by Parikshit Maharaj to explain about the entire creation. So he gets excited, and before he goes and answers all those questions, he is paying his obeisances. There is it says some 12 to 18 few verses, I think 8 or 10 verses is Sukadeva Goswami's prayers. And so he is praying so that he is able to speak for the betterment of Parikshit Maharaj and the rest of us. In that, one of the words which is used here is rādhasā. Rādhasā is the opulence of the Lord. Now the opulence of the Lord is transcendental opulence of the Lord. Why? Because all the things which he possesses is in full. So the 6 opulences which we are aware of. Okay? So what are the 6 opulences? See, we can just tell that in the middle of the night, we can all the 6 things which have been repeatedly told by Prabhupada. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriyah jnana vairagya chaiva sannam iti bhoga gana. Iti bhaga gana. This is from Vishnu Purana. Now, why does the Lord have these opulences? Is it like he's a show-off that he's got all these things? The Lord has all these opulences for one single reason: to attract everybody. One single reason. One pointed agenda he has got with all these opulences. 6 things. Because jivas are of so much of variety. Everybody has their own taste. So everybody's attraction towards anything will be for a different reason. If somebody has to get attracted to the Lord, not everybody gets attracted to achintya beda beda tattva. Did somebody come saying that, hey, ISKCON, they have achintya beda beda tattva. It's better than this other tattvas. There is Advaita, there is Dvaita, there is Vishishtadvaita, but they have a wonderful one. Nobody came like that. But some people could have come like that. I mean, most of them wouldn't. Most of them would have come with one samosa or some khichdi. So different aspects of the Lord are attractive to different people. Why? Because all of us fell down or came down for a different reason. Our kick was different. Our need was different. Our expectation from the material world is different. That is why we have so many different creations. Or we are such a creatures that we have different tastes. The Lord wants to attract all of us. Why would He do that? Why doesn't He let us go? Because He is our true friend. Suhridam. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. He doesn't say that, oh, only these kind of people are my children, all others are not. No. Everybody is a separated spark of the Lord. Everybody. Regardless of what kind of material body that we have. Within the classification of the human beings, there are 4 lakh categories of human beings. 4 lakh. Can you imagine? That's such a vast number. Probably some of the smaller European countries have a 4 lakh population. Maybe. But 4 lakh varieties of human beings are there. So there are at least 4 lakh varieties of needs for us. But these are all summarized into 6. What? What attracts somebody? Strength attracts somebody. Somebody is very strong. Such a strong man, such a strong person, powerful person attracts. If it is somebody who is rich, richness attracts somebody. Okay? So if it is somebody is famous, fame attracts us. That person. You know why we always on the internet I see many people quote some famous Western Hollywood actors that they are reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Big deal. Bhagavad Gita is read by so many people. Why should we quote that this particular person is reading Bhagavad Gita and he is quoting from it? Because we have to have that attraction saying that, hey, this guy is so famous, but even then he is reading Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita's glory is not increased because that person is reading it. His glory is increased because he is reading Bhagavad Gita. But for the mundane mind, that person reading makes Bhagavad Gita more interesting. There are many people who have taken up to reading Bhagavad Gita because one XYZ person who is a politician took up Bhagavad Gita. And he said, Bhagavad Gita inspires me. God bless him. He said that. So many people actually who did not want to become devotees also started reading Bhagavad Gita, and then they have their own relationship with Krishna. So these 6 things the Lord exhibits in full, or Lord has these opulences in full. We have so many examples of this. The Lord exhibits His opulence of Aishwarya. You know, when He came down as Srinivasa, we all know the story. When Bhrigu Muni insulted Narayana, Lakshmi got very angry, saying that you did not do anything. He came and kicked on the Vakshasthala of you, where I reside, and you did not do anything. So she came off. There was a separation. Narayana was experiencing Madhurya in the Aishwarya Dham. Okay, so it was a separation from Lakshmi. So she was born as Padmavati. Is it echoing? Okay. So Narayana came down as Srinivasa. And to cut the long story short, when Padmavati saw Narayana, when she was 14, there was a natural attraction towards Narayana because they are naturally a couple. And then when they were about to get married, Brahma came down. Brahma asked, do you want to get married to Padmavati? He said, of course I want to get married to Padmavati. But he said, I'm taking a role of a human. I don't have any Aishwarya here. He said, don't worry. He called Kubera. And Kubera said, he is the Lord. Why should I give him money? He said, no, I'm playing the part. You give me money. So they took a loan. Krishna, in the form of Srinivasa, took a loan for his wedding. And how much did he spend? All of us are still repaying back that loan. And this loan was get over at the end of Kali Yuga. This contract was written by Kubera, signed by Brahma as witness and other people as witness. So when you go to Tirupati, the Aishwarya which we see there, one wedding our Lord does and all of us are repaying. So how much is opulent is his wedding? Okay, we missed the Tirupati laddu on that wedding though. But the laddu we are still eating. So in terms of opulence, he has got the fullest. There is no doubt about that. And he also gives examples through scriptures, then that a person who uses the opulence for the right method or right purpose, how glorious is he? And a person who uses opulence for a wrong purpose, how inglorious can his reputation become? All this is mentioned in the Shastras. How, for example, the good example of using opulence is our Prataparudra Maharaj, who used all his opulence in serving the Lord in the Puri. Or Rupa Goswami, who gave us this formula of how much to be given, how much to save, how much to give to relatives. And he had this Chintamani, there's the what do you call that? Touchstone. And then he had kept it in the dump. Right? So that is how a good devotee uses, either in the service of the Lord or doesn't get attached to it. But there are examples in the Bhagavatam and other Puranas that how using the opulence in the wrong way can get that person into trouble. The famous example is Nalakuvar and Manigriva. They were intoxicated because their father was Kubera. And the same person who gave the loan to the Lord, by the way. But anyway, they were distracted. So they were intoxicated by the wealth and also what they were drinking. And Narada Muni, out of his own mercy, cursed them to become Yamal Arjuna trees. So this opulence of the Lord, we know that what is it for? It is for attracting us. It's for attracting us. Anybody who thinks that rich people are good, and anybody who's getting attracted by richness, the Lord is saying, hey, come, I'm here. Get attracted to me. I'm the best among all the rich also. It's not about one particular family, business family who's doing a elaborate wedding in Bombay or wherever. Look at the wedding which Srinivasa did for himself. Such a big wedding that was done, where Shiva was there and Shiva dressed up Vishnu. Okay, and everybody was there. So that's a long story. So attraction towards the Lord can be achieved by the opulence of Aishwarya also. And that is what Krishna is giving. Next is strength and power. Innumerable examples the Lord gives. If you think any animal is strong, the Lord says, I have tamed all the kinds of animals. 7 bulls I tamed to marry one of my principal queens. So, the bulls are not any strong. And none of the asuras are strong. I have killed all of them with my bare hands. Or if you think, no, the elements are stronger. No, I have drank fire to save my friends. As Rama, I made the entire ocean just shiver in fear by just raising my eyebrows. You know the story. Rama was there as a human, waiting for the ocean god to give way to go to Lanka. And ocean god did not come out, even though Rama meditated for a while, for a few days. Then Rama just raised his eyebrows, and the entire surface of the ocean started boiling. And then the ocean god became very, very fearful, and he came out. So just by raising of an eyebrow, he can conquer the entire water body. Okay, no, you say, no, the fire, the ether, what else is there? All the elements he has covered. Okay, so if Indra was pouring torrential rain, which was for annihilation, he was just holding an entire mountain as an umbrella on the left hand little finger, while he was playing a flute in the right hand and looking at the sidelong glances to everybody and reciprocating equally to everybody, or in the way they wanted. So the opulence of strength and power, Krishna says, I'm the one. Why do you worry? I'm there. So this attraction, if the jiva has to get attracted to strength and power, Krishna is there to attract him. So then there is fame. Lord Rama is a Maryada Purushottama, most famous. So he does activities. In fame also, we get attracted to people. So Krishna says, with fame also you get attracted to me, because I am the most famous person. What is a good example of fame to be used? Prahlad Maharaj. He became so famous by calling Narsimdev out of a pillar. And his prayers we still use. And whom should we use as an example for using fame as in a wrong way? Our own Daksha. Daksha Maharaj. Daksha Prajapati was very famous. Why? Because of Prajapati. And what did he do? He insulted Shiva. After starting to say, oh no, I am just giving some little feedback. Little feedback I want to give to Shiva. I'm not worried about anything about myself, but I just wanted to say how he should behave. Because I am his father-in-law at the end of the day. So he started with this nice background, but then what is the first thing which he said? That he looks like a monkey. His eyes are looking like a monkey. In the path of that, he insulted Brahma also. This Parameshti only asked him to marry my daughter. My daughter is like so beautiful, and this fellow lives in the crematorium. All kinds of insult. It was a misuse of his fame. So what happened? He got a goat head. And after that he made wonderful prayers. But after that also, his fame and his attachment to fame did not leave him. He became a Prajapati, and then he asked for what? He asked for continuous enjoyment of sex desire. So wrong use of fame also. But if somebody has to get attracted to a famous person, it has to be Krishna. Because Krishna is all famous. Beauty. I mean, this part can be elaborated into days and days of a discussion. Beauty of the Lord is unmatchable. Nobody in this world or here or anywhere else can match the beauty of the Lord. So Bhagavatam has got such beautiful verses explaining the beauty of the Lord. One of them which I remember and thought about is Barhapidam. Barhapidam natavaravapum karnayo karnikaram pibhrudvasa kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamala randran venu madhara sudaya purayan gopavrunde vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. Such beautiful description of the Lord. He is wearing a peacock feather and karnika of flowers in his ears. And then he is wearing one yellow dhoti, which is like lightning yellow. And then his Natavaravapu is a good, great, graceful dancer. What is he doing? He is walking around with his friends, and the friends are glorifying him. He is imprinting his footprint all over Vrindavan. Okay? And he is wearing a Vaijayanti mala. And he is entering the forest. Such a beautiful description of the Lord. And these kind of description, if you like, if somebody wants to get attracted to the childlike form of the Lord, we have our Damodar Leela, where he is saying Lasat Kundalam. What is the starting of that? Namamishwaram Sachid Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. So the poet is saying that this Krishna is now started walking. So that's the reason his earrings are dangling like this and kissing his cheeks. Such a sweet description of the Lord. So if beauty has to attract somebody, it has to be the Lord. Krishna, in the form of Krishna. Of course, all other forms of the Lord are also beautiful, but probably we do not have the ability to decipher the beauty of other incarnations, possibly. But Krishna is the most beautiful among all. And a good pastime to recollect where beauty was used properly is Mohini Murti, which is Krishna himself. The demons and demigods both fought. But who were qualified? The qualified were the demigods. And so Mohini Murti used her beauty to distract the asuras and then give the nectar to the demigods. Whereas Putana is an example of where the beauty was used in the wrong way. When she entered Gokula, of course her original form is later on described by Sukadeva Goswami, but when she entered, she transformed herself into such a beautiful young damsel. Sukadeva Goswami himself is describing, after he is a renunciant, and the reason why he describes is all very transcendental, but the way it is used was for distracting the Vrajavasis, fooling them and going and killing Krishna. This was the purpose it was used for. And knowledge, the entire Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Lord, and this knowledge is used to attract everybody, all kinds of people. You want bhakti, you have bhakti there in Bhagavad Gita. You want jnana, jnana is there. You want dhyana, dhyana is there. So the Lord wants to attract everybody, each and every one of us, regardless of what kind of attraction we have or what is our impetus to get attracted. Everybody has their own udipan. Somebody, if you go to a particular place, some memories come back to us. It is sometimes because of the vision of that particular place. Sometimes it is because of fragrance. Like for example, in May or something, there is the Kadamba flowers in Mayapur. It is so fragrant. So whenever I'm outside somewhere and then I smell Kadamba, I remember Mayapur. It's a udipan. So that whatever is there available as resources, Krishna uses it to attract the jivas back to him. Why? Because all of us are not in a mood to go back to him. We are very, very happy being in our material body and trying to enjoy whatever is possible. We are trying to enjoy more and more. Okay? We might say that, oh, we've committed and everything, but even then, somehow or the other, we all, at least I'll speak for myself, I tried to find time for Maya. I might put a very tight schedule for myself. Oh, I will do this. Then I do all those things so quickly that I can do something with Maya. Something. And then there is a dedicated time for that. And we think that by setting the privacy settings in YouTube differently, Krishna would not get to know. Right? So we are trying to find time for Maya. But Krishna, what is he saying? His mood is that he wants to attract everybody. He said, okay, if you think that renunciation is one of the aspects which you get attracted to, I am the most renounced. I am the most renounced. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I gave up my old mother and also a young wife to take up sannyas. I did whatever was supposed to be done. For what? For you to get attracted back to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, gave up his lovely locks of hair in Katwa, and took up the sannyas and stayed away from his family and stayed away from everybody. For what? For preaching the message of the Lord, to get attracted to his lotus feet. So when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or the Panchatattva for that matter, in the 7th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami explains, when he starts explaining that Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta-avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So these 5 elements who are non-different from the Lord, what is their purpose? They are opening the treasure house of love of Godhead, and they want to give it to everybody. They did not see who is qualified. They did not see the place. They gave it to everybody, and we are here right at the middle of it. 800 meters away the Lord was born. Wow. I mean, it's very, very, I get amazed that we are so close, but yet so far. So close, yet so far. So these 5 tattvas, when they came, their purpose was to give the love of Godhead for everybody, regardless of who they are. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself made sure that even those people who were running away, who did not want love of Godhead, he caught hold of them and gave it to them. Like even the Mayavadis. He sat and spoke to them like a very humble servant. And he gave them information that why is he chanting? What mantra his Guru gave? Why is he so attracted to this chanting? And what can chanting do? And so the Mayavadi sannyasis also got attracted. to the Lord. So renunciation per se, Krishna is an exemplary person when it comes to renunciation. As soon as he was born, he renounced his birth parents. As soon as he was born, he renounced. And then he went to a place and he so lovingly was brought up by Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj. So lovingly. There is no other person in the parental category who could love Krishna as much as Yashoda Maya. Nobody. Na bhuto na bhavishyat. And he gave up her to go to Mathura. So he is an embodiment of renunciation. He gave up the gopis, who he says that I am not able to repay the kind of love you are giving towards me. I am actually failing my promise that I'll reciprocate in whatever way you correspond to me. I am not able to do that with you. Your love is so pure that I am not able to give back the way you are reciprocating with me or way you are interacting with me. I am not able to reciprocate. And those kind of gopis and friends, Sridhama, Subala, Sakha, everybody he gave up. He went out of Vrindavan. He's an embodiment of renunciation. And good examples which you can see is, we can see Rishabdev, he also renounced. And bad examples, of course, we know many examples where early renunciations like Saubhari Muni, he always keeps on giving their examples. So, when these kind of opulences are used by the Lord for attracting the conditioned souls, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and opened up the storehouse, but we did not get attracted. If we had got attracted, we would be there. We are still here, no? It means to say that we are failed candidates, 5th time. Same paper, we are writing again and again. Possibly sometimes going to the exam, sometimes not going to the exam also. So Krishna kept on making easier and easier papers to make us pass. So in this Kali Yuga, the entire strength of all his opulences is there in just the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One of the purports in the 3rd canto, Kapila Siksha, Prabhupada says that just by ignorantly chanting, and this has been told many times, but I just remember that one particular purport, that ignorantly chanting Hare Krishna will take the devotee to a platform of being brahmanical. As simple as that. I was trying to understand how is it even possible? Just one name. And that too, in my mind I was thinking, oh, it should be Shuddhanam, means to say my anartha should have been gone, I have at least been to Nishtha, that, this. Prabhupada clarifies, and he reads the minds of the readers so nicely that within the next paragraph he says, need not be in any other platform. Just chant. He did just be Namabhas is also okay. Namabhas is also okay. And he did not even know the technology of chanting. That there is first offensive chanting, then there is clearing stage, then there is Shuddhanam. Did not know all those things. Just by saying, these Hare Krishna people are putting a lot of loud music, that itself will take them to the next level. Just saying the Hare Krishna ones. So, what about people who willingly chant a minimum number of rounds? What about willingly chanting minimum number of rounds? So this methodology which was used by Krishna was deciphered by Srila Prabhupada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, opened up the storehouse, but we did not go. Why? There was no marketing. Why? Because the Gaudiya Sampradaya did not come outside the Gaudiya region. We did not know. At least I did not know. I knew all the South Indian pastimes. I was brought up in South India. So Gaudiya philosophy did not come to many parts of India. What about speaking about outside? We see so many different country devotees here. So all of us got it how? Because of Srila Prabhupada using all these opulences in the service. Jai Srila Prabhupada. That should be like the first thing and the last thing we say every day, every breath. We owe this breath and our existence to Srila Prabhupada. All of us owe it. So if Prabhupada, what did he use? He used the beauty of the Lord, the opulence of beauty. He made such beautiful deities and such beautiful temples. Many of my non-ISKCON friends also tell me, ISKCON deities are so beautiful. One appreciation towards the Lord by a person who is a mundane wrangler, like in Prabhupada's language, that gets him closer to Krishna. Gets him closer to Krishna. So Prabhupada created beautiful deities, beautiful temples. He inspired other devotees to create bigger and bigger temples. The Adbhut Mandir, the temple which is supposed to actually attract the entire world to Mayapur, is getting built, will be opened, and we will see so many people will flow. So the aspect of beauty of Krishna and beauty of the temple is being used by Prabhupada to attract whom? All of us. He used strength also, for that matter, strength and power. He made such a big family that all of us have this confidence that whichever country I go, some of you, if you're travelers, you would understand this, and especially if you commit to eating only prasad. Whenever your company or somebody asks you to go to a different country, when I was working, it was such a turn off. The countries are very, very nice. I mean, materially speaking, they're all very opulent countries, but the entire energy which goes into finding prasadam, oh my God. Especially if I travel in the Arab countries, which I used to, Jayadvaita Maharaj used to say that in the Arab world, the way in which the Arab world is constructed, where everything is hot, only snakes and scorpions grow. He said this is one of the descriptions of one of the hells described in the 5th canto. And in that sun, I had to travel to different countries. So if I have to go to different country and if I have to find prasadam, it was very, very difficult. Then what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada created a family where everyone can call that their house, their home. You just have to see. No words needed to be exchanged. One kantimala, you see the other person, Hare Krishna, my brother, how are you? So prasadam is ready. Right? So Prabhupada created this entire ISKCON, okay, not for that purpose, but at least we are able to use it for that purpose. So if it is power and that kind of opulence which is used by Prabhupada in building ISKCON, so that's to attract devotees, make more devotees. And beauty, knowledge, of course, he's creating Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav, and many so-called mundane, qualified engineers and doctors getting attracted to a movement like this. There are temples which is full of IITs, right? So there are people who get attracted to that also. Become famous. Oh, this famous person. Oh, this is from IIT. IIM. IIT and IIMs are Indian premier institutes for other people who don't know. So knowledge is also used for attracting devotees, attracting conditioned souls. And renunciation. Prabhupada has inspired so many of the devotees to become brahmacharis, sannyasis. Renunciation is very, very attractive. And he has inspired grihasthas to follow a proper grihastha life, which is also an element of renunciation. So Prabhupada has inspired us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is inspiring us. All his opulences are there for attracting us. There is this beautiful pastime from South India where even a person who was not attracted to anything else but his wife's eyes gets attracted to the Lord of Srirangam, Ranganatha. I'm sure all of you know, I don't know. Okay, you don't know. So there is this there's a person called Villidasa or Dhanush-dasa. Dhanur-dasa, Villidasa, both are his names. So he is a disciple of Ramanujacharya, and he is actually a wrestler, and he has got this habit of going to river Kaveri and watching the whirlpools. The whirlpools are very attractive for him. So he goes and, after all his work, he used to just go sit and watch the whirlpool. So somebody asked him, why are you watching whirlpools? So there is nothing more beautiful than the whirlpool I've seen. So it was so beautiful, it keeps on forming like that. If you see a whirlpool, it's mesmerizing in one sense, hypnotizing. You keep on seeing, it keeps on forming that shape, keep on forming the shape, keep on forming the shape. It does. You don't know where it's starting, where it's ending. So then somebody said, then there was a dancer in that particular city. And she said, I went past this person and he's still watching the whirlpool. Next day she got nicely dressed and she went again. And then he saw her and he got attracted to her eyes. Such beautiful eyes. He got married to her. And then there was this Urgolam, Utsav, that like how we do Hathi festival. There the Ranganatha, the Utsava deity goes around in the city. And Ramanujacharya and everybody, all the disciples are going, and this person is holding a umbrella to his wife and watching the eyes of his wife while the Lord is going on a procession. And the disciples tell Ramanujacharya, look at him, shameless fellow. In front of the Lord, he is just looking at his wife. Ramanujacharya said, okay, I'll do something. He went and spoke to him. He said, what is this, Vilidasa? You are in public, you are just watching your wife's eyes. So he told Ramanujacharya, you should see my wife's eyes. So beautiful. Ramanujacharya said, what is this? Then he went and prayed to Ranganatha. Said, I'm going to get this Vilidasa tomorrow morning. You do something, you show his Mohini Rupa to him, attract him to you. Then he took him in Mangalarati. And Vilidasa saw Ranganatha, such a elegant, and many of you must have gone to Srirangam, elegant deity. And then he's lying so stylishly with one hand onto his head and like this prostrated. And then he sees the eye and he gets attracted to the eyes of the Lord. That's it. He becomes a pure devotee. So a deity's eyes can attract and make one person a devotee. Prabhupada knows this. He made deities so beautifully, and our artists in our community also have got that mood of Prabhupada. They beautifully paint the deities so nicely. Every Mangalarti if you go, the Darshanarti if you go, you see the painting on the face of Radha Madhava. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. And many people just come and describe that to me. They say, you saw the, I'm not such a connoisseur of that beauty. I can't see so far. My eyes are not great. So, but in the pictures I can expand and see. So many people get attracted to that form. And the rangolis which are made, all this is beauty, attracting the conditioned soul. So when the conditioned soul gets attracted to these 6 opulences, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, I am paying obeisances to this person, the transcendental opulence of the Lord. I am paying obeisances to him. May he inspire me to speak which is good for everybody. So he's going to, few more verses, he's going to glorify the Lord, and then after this chapter he's going to begin the entire description of the material universe. He's going to quote the conversation between Narada Muni and Brahma, and then that's going to be the next part of the Bhagavatam. So we're going to stop here, and with the help of the Prabhupada disciples and the senior disciples here, we can take some questions. I will just do the facilitation part. I'll just direct it to somebody if I can't answer. Yes, Prabhu.
Sometimes we hear Prabhupada say that you can read all these books if you're interested in science and philosophy, or you can just chant Hare Krishna. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Because he said it.
Yeah. Anything.
Quite a few times.
Anything. You get attracted to all these books, all the knowledge, even the pictures which is there in the book, or just chant Hare Krishna. It's absolutely fine. Nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis.
Why then is there so much stress on having to take Bhakti Shastri in different degrees? People can't even get initiated now without reading the books and passing courses. Why can't they just chant Hare Krishna like Prabhupada said?
Yeah, they can chant Hare Krishna, but they can also do Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav. Because Prabhupada also said that his disciples should be we're missing that word. He said this should be very intelligent, scholarly. He said his disciples, the devotees of ISKCON should be scholarly. They should be able to answer. Every class of people, every kind of person, every different types of people are needed in the movement, and everybody gets attracted to different things. Some people get attracted to how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said something, how Jiva Goswami broke this word, what is the chandas in which we are supposed to read this particular verse. Some people are there who get attracted to that, especially me. So, and some people say, no, I will chant my bhajan, I am fine. I'll sit on the banks of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund and do my bhajan. Okay. If your Guru Maharaj says that you are qualified to do that, you can do that, or else you can do this. I think both are acceptable.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the good, the systematic explanation of how we can use the opulences of the Lord in His service. But I wanted to ask this question. So the Lord is called the Supreme Enjoyer, and my question was: you said that He exclusively uses these opulences for attracting the conditioned souls, but does He enjoy them as well or not?
Yeah. See, in this verse itself, Prabhupada says that He is the enjoyer of both material and spiritual world. And He stays in this spiritual world. So if at all we think that we are the enjoyer, we are wrong. He is the enjoyer. Bhoktaram yagnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva shanti vrachati. So He is the enjoyer of everything. What He enjoys the most, according to my understanding, is when the soul comes back to Him. Every element He enjoys. If you see in Mayapur, because He is an enjoyer, all the seasons want to serve the Lord so fully that we have a full summer year, full rainy year, full winter year. Because the seasons actually want to serve the Lord in full. So it's nowhere can you see that if it rains like cats and dogs. If it is cold like you can't attend Mangalarti. If it is hot like you don't want to wear you just want to come with a chadar on. Right? So this is there, and so when the Lord enjoys, He enjoys full, and He is the enjoyer. That is why He's called Rama. So He enjoys everything here and in the spiritual world. And this is used because primarily certain things are done for attracting the jiva. Because He's our best friend. We're not understanding that. We are not sorry that we came down, but He is sorry that we came down. He wants us back. If you see, I think I have not read the Bhagavatam, but at the end when the Gopakumara goes back and then the Lord embraces him, both of them faint. So both of them are in ecstasy. It's reciprocation. So the Lord is also awaiting the jiva's arrival. So He is the enjoyer here and there, and He enjoys your return more than anything else. Does it? Thank you. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you for an all-attractive class. Every aspect of it was very attractive, full of 6 opulences. So thank you, very delightful. And I was just thinking about your example of how some rock star or some celebrity reads the Bhagavad Gita and everyone says, oh wow, he's reading. But actually the principle of, whatever a great man does, common people follow. And whatever example he sets, by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So actually those who are in the position of being in the limelight or in the leadership or a teacher or whatever, there's a duty to perform, in the sense one is called to a higher standard of behavior and action, because common people are going to follow. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat evataro jana sayat pramadam kurute lokas tadanuvartate. So something to really meditate on. I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
thank you for the class. Here in the translation is written that who is always a problem for the non-devotees. So we have this, I have this tendency that sometimes some Krishna conscious activity becomes a nuisance, a problem. So how to avoid this non-devotee tendency?
Association. If you associate more with people who do a particular activity, you generally get to that. If you sit always with people who speak about stock market, you'll one day go and invest. If you sit with always people who play chess, you'll start learning. If you sit with devotees who don't waste their time, you'll stop wasting your time. So we should always associate with somebody who has got higher sadhana. That is there in the 11th canto. You have love towards the deities and the seniors, and then you have friendship towards your equals, like that. You have to have that association of serious sadhakas. Serious sadhakas are very, very important in our life. They're inspirations. Like I was sitting in a class of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu Maharaj, and he was inspiring everybody to read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita a day. It's very inspiring, because especially when he comes from him who's like an embodiment of preaching Bhagavad Gita and book distribution, and he's been doing this. They call it the CHAD, chapter a day or something. So it's very inspiring. So you get inspired by those people who are having higher sadhana. Instead of you just scrolling your phone with whatever that's called. So you can just use the same phone to open up a chapter of Bhagavad Gita and start reading. 20-25 minutes a day. You might just use it. So if it is a standard which you think you should aspire for, you should get inspired with it. So associating with higher standard sadhakas is the way to giving up our anarthas in this material world. Okay, we'll stop it here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.